So we're going to keep this video short and sweet and to the point, no BS. I already obviously have my wheel, and I need to replace my paddle shifters. They're kind of bound up and my upshift isn't working. Downshift works sometimes, but... So Zen Carbon Fiber was good enough to make that right. Sent me some new paddle shifters. And going to take these ones off, send them back. So I want to show you guys how to get this airbag pad off. Obviously we disconnected the battery, waited 10-15 minutes, 20 minutes, however comfortable you feel. This is the best tool I've found. You need something fairly long enough but small enough to fit in these little holes. And so this is just barely long enough, and you need to get, you can see how it's spring loaded, and then that'll pop your airbag cover off, and then you can disconnect the remaining things in there, which I'll show you. So we got that popped off, and you have to kind of work it back and forth, you know, this side applying pressure to each side, and it doesn't just come right out. At least mine didn't. And this is like my second or third time doing this. I would also recommend just getting all the tools, the proper tools that you need. Because when I did this, it was, I had to run and get this and get that. So get a little screwdriver, pick tool, 15/16 socket, and it'll make your life a lot easier, trust me. I'm going to come in here, apply a little pressure under these. Pop right up, come right off. Gives you a little bit more room. These are color coded as well, so you don't have to worry about which goes where. I'll show you to get a better understanding, because I ran into, it was quite the hassle because I didn't have the right stuff, like I said. So when you put this tool, Allen number 3 that I have, this is what you're actually pushing into, and so that releases the airbag. And when I tried, I was all different kinds of flatheads that I had, longer ones. This was, see what I mean? This is a really fairly small 3/16 head, but you need something long enough to get in there. So literally this is the tool to do it. The number 3 Husky. Even something like this isn't long enough to reach in there. So you have your 3 connections. This pops right off with a little screwdriver pressure, and now you can set that guy aside. Now we'll work on pulling the wheel off with the 15/16 and go from there. Once you got that guy loose, pull it out. Another tip, make sure your truck wheel is straight when you're doing this, because as you can see, there's a little bit of play, and you want to make sure your tires are as straight as possible. So when you put this guy back on, your 12 o'clock line, if you have one, is centered. My truck is fully loaded, heated steering wheel, all the Raptor controls, steering wheel stiffness, or steering stiffness, sport mode, all the different modes. And so there's 2 more connections left after you get the original ones. And like I said, this little guy is going to be your friend. Take your time. All this stuff is really expensive, and you know these clips like to break, so that should take it all off. Boom, this comes right out. So another highly recommended tool for the job is this. This is a Klein. I mean, this is top of the line stuff. I was in fiber optics, and these are electrical tools, lifetime warranty. But this is like a 27-in-1, and what you're going to need for this is a Torx 20 to get these guys off. Take those 4 off. Put it around, and now you got to pop this bezel here. And this is, of course, if you're doing a full replacement like I did. I mean, if you just have the wheel, I mean, you're still going to have to do this, swap it over from your stock if you're keeping this stock. But I start here, just light pressure, adding more as you need. And then there's, for these paddle shifters, you got one on each side. And then same, we'll be removing one of those Torx on each side here. There's also 3 more connections. They come out pretty easy. One here on each side, and then I believe this is for the heat element if you have it. Once you get those other 2 out, flip it around, and these should come out pretty easy. Now what we have to do is pull these pins that actually hold the paddle shift on here. And it looks like I have some extra work because not sure how long that's been broken, but when I went to take it off, it was just spinning. And so I must have broke that, or maybe I was getting too rough on my shifts. But that's the side that also didn't work. Basically, it was because when he added the carbon to these metal shifters, because this is just an overlay on these aluminum shifters, it was bound up and it wasn't shifting or moving at all. So I kind of ground away some of the resin, but you can tell it's still not working correctly. So hopefully by doing this, it fixes my problem. While we're at it, I guess I'll show you guys the removal of that broken nut in there. I've been carrying around these Ryobi extractors. I have never used them, and 5 years later, here I am. This is the smallest size I have, so I'm hoping it looks like it's the perfect size. So they recommend using a little drill bit, put some oil, and just go slow. So once you get a hole through here, you might need to go one more size up, and then that should be big enough for this extractor to give something to bite to, so you're not on top of that broken bolt. So I did have to move to the next size up. I did my pilot hole, and then we did one more, and it looks like it's definitely we got it out. It was close. I was a little off center, and I'm hoping I didn't mess up the threads, but I think they look all right. We'll try it out here. So unfortunately, I don't have the correct hex to replace that broken one, so I'm going to run off and get one here soon. I wanted to show you these. This pin you have to pop out of here, and you can kind of see the resin in there from the carbon where it was bound up. And so here are the new ones. Got these over a year ago and haven't opened them yet, so hopefully they are better than the ones I got before. And so literally back to the old trusty number 3. this is the tool that you use to punch these guys out. You know, having a vise or something to hold it, I just kind of wedged it in between the towel here and the bench, and gave it a couple good whacks, and they fairly easy. They come out. There's a little grease on them, so I recommend if they're pretty dry or hard to come out, you know, use some decent grease to put back in there just for functionality. So we'll take a look at the difference here between these two. And so, like I was saying, all this resin, trying to get the focus better, compared to the new ones. I told him to grind these down, which he did for clearance. So good job, Zen. So once you get the actual paddles out, here's the old ones again. There's the actual sensor that tells it to shift. Basically, this is one put back together. And so all this really needs to line up. You see that little copper rectangle? Make sure when you take these out, they just slide right out, but make sure they go in exactly how they came out. And then this also needs to be centered and lined up properly. So this is my second time. This is definitely the most challenging part, I think, of the whole swap and install. Getting the pins out. It's not super hard, but it definitely takes some swinging of the hammer if you don't have a vise. I don't have mine set up right now, so. I feel like a good way to test it when you're done too is, I mean, they have some spring to it. So test it, test both of them. If they kind of just go in and collapse and don't pop back out, there's a problem. It's either clearance or you didn't get that little piece of copper lined up. See how it's kind of pops back? So definitely don't put all this back together, because then you're coming back to this part, which is really, if I didn't need to go get another Torx, you're ready to put it back together, and you know, probably 10-15 minutes you're good to go. So check that, you should be good. All right, we are back. So went to O'Reilly's, got tried to find the right literally these are kind of like a sheet metal screw without a point. And I got these nice stainless ones that have a point. Because all it's going into is this cast aluminum. And because they didn't have anything there with this coarse of a thread. And just looking at that, that looks like something you'd get at Home Depot. Or so I got this nice variety pack of these stainless sheet metal screws, basically. I mean, metal screws that goes into the cast aluminum, nice. Always good to put on a little thread locker just for safety. I'm doing that with everything, just because it's a steering wheel. And these are paddle shifters that, you know, they move, and want to be very safe too. So first thing you can do is put the wheel back on, get your wires through, and you can bolt it down. Like I said, thread locker, and then I even like to put a dab on the bolt. for added safety. And why not? Now basically you just reverse what you did. These two go back in, and you can check it along the way, make sure. You can see the little, that's where the pin goes in the brass, that copper fitting. Right side, left side. These feel a lot better than before. And so I have no doubt this is going to work out. If not, we're back to shifting from here, baby. Like I said, take your time. Make sure all your connections are in there and the wires are tucked away. There's a lot going on in here. And so, you know, clearance on all this. There's little areas for these to get tucked in. Just do it right. Take your time. This bezel, it's fragile, so all pops in there. Good to go. One more step, airbag. Do it a nice little wipe down, get all the smudges off your new wheel, and let's test her out. Well, it's getting late, so we'll have to take it for a test drive in the morning, but I'm pretty guaranteed these things are working correctly now. Yeah, I want to show you guys, I rebuilt my third brake light. All the Baja design lights were getting, the lenses were kind of fogged and faded, and I could just tell the gasket around there, so I got some new cork gasket, cut some templates, did a little video on that I'll post as well, but it's all finished up now. So it's pretty good. Love me some lights. And Goose Tune. What's up, Winfield? Alright, that's the video.